Jā, kā nākamo lektoru uz magnētikas skatuves aicināsim uzņēmēju, kiberdrošības ekspertu un padomdevēju, kurš konsultē pasaules vadošās organizācijas un uzņēmumus. Viņš liks arī mums aizdomāties par tehnoloģiju un digitālā laikmeta gan gaišo, gan tumšo pusi. Laipni aicinām Menny Barzilay. Menny, please, the stage is yours and audience is here.
Future, the dark side.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
What's up? Yeah, you can take it. I'm very excited to be here. Latvia, a sunny day in the middle of the summer. Yeah, I come from Israel. This is like the worst winter we have. So thank you for that. I'm not well dressed, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to talk about cybersecurity. Just a few questions before we will start. Please raise your hand if you are dealing with technology. If you're an entrepreneur or something, your day-to-day job is technology. Raise your hand very high. Raise your hand very high if you are on your day-to-day in the field of media. Anyone in the media? Lawyers, if you are, raise your hand. Investors, anyone who invest in startups? No investors. Okay. If you have a Facebook account, please raise your hand. Okay. If you don't have a Facebook account, please raise your hand. Oh my God, one person. One. Why? No, I don't want to know. This is too much. If you have a Twitter account, please raise your hand. LinkedIn, please raise your hand. If you're using Tinder, please raise your hand. Okay, some people here. If you have Bitcoins, please raise your hand. Okay, some people here. If you had to choose between spending 3 days on a deserted island without your smartphone or without your toothbrush, what would you choose? If you would take your smartphone with you, please raise your hand. If you would say you would take your toothbrush please, with you, you are a liar. No, just putting it out there so I would know how Latvians are with regards to the truth. Okay, so my name is Menny Barzilay. You already heard that. We're going to talk about cybersecurity. I tend to talk very fast. I'm sorry about that. If you're ready, I'm going to start. Perfect. So we're going to go back in time. We're going to go to a prehistorical time, vicious time, crazy times, 2005. Before we had Twitter, before we had WhatsApp, before we had Candy Crush. Now, in 2005, if you would have called me and you would tell me, you know what, Menny, I want you to come and give a talk in Latvia. And this is my first time, let's say it was my first time in Latvia, I would be really, really stressed. Traveling to a new country, getting to the venue, this is a stressful thing. So I would probably research about Latvia and learn about the places here. And then I will take the flight. I will rent a car. I will go to my car. Yeah, probably this one. And then I will take the maps out and try to find my way to the venue. Yes, 2005, 12 years ago, we still used maps to navigate. And I would ask people on the road, where should I go? Yes, we had to talk to other people. Eventually, I will reach my destination, and you know what? It will take me 3 hours where I struggled with the maps, I struggled with the streets because I cannot read Latvian. I will ask people that don't speak Hebrew, and I will try to explain to them what I want, and I will get there, and I will feel like I did it. I conquered this challenge of navigating in another country without understanding the names of the places. I am the king. Now let's talk about the process today. Today, many times, I'm very, very lazy. I walk into an airport without knowing even to which country I'm traveling. My assistant is taking care of everything. I go on the plane because I see the number. I go off the plane, I rent a car, I go to my car, I really, this is not going to be the car, but actually still this type of cars. And then I turn on my phone, press the name of the place I want to go to. The phone tells me that I will be there in 42 minutes. I get there in 46 minutes. 4 minutes later, and I'm very angry. 4 minutes later, this is really rude. Technology doesn't work at all. Now, that's amazing how technology changes. This is really, we are holding in our hand a magical device capable of doing crazy things. This is magic. And it's easy to forget that this is magic when we are, most of what we do is like clicking right or left on girls or on liking cats or something like that. But it is a magical device, and we live in a magical times. We talk about the frog effect. Some of you might know the frog effect. The frog effect says that if you take a frog and you put it in hot water, the frog will jump out. But if you take a frog and you put it in regular water and slowly turn the heat on, the frog will die without noticing it. Now, people talk about this frog effect for 100 years now. Nobody could prove that to be correct. The frog always jumps out. Nevertheless, we still talk about the frog effect. And the thing is, there is a thing about the frog effect. Because we are inside the change, because we are part of this change, sometimes we fail to have the perspective, to see how amazingly things have changed in the past decade. People will write books on this time. People will have movies on this times. This is crazy what humanity has been going through for the past 12 years. 12 years ago, we didn't have iPhone, we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have Waze, we didn't have so many of the things that we use today on a day-to-day basis. We have to have this perspective. Now, when talking about technology, technology is going to do crazy things in the future. We're going to have driverless cars. At the age of 12, kids will ask for a car for their birthday because they don't need a driver license, they don't need a driver. This is a driverless car. Bitcoin will change world economy. Biotech will fix problems that we didn't think we could fix in human bodies. We will have robots changing so many things in our lives, taking 40% of our workforce right now. We already have drones taking packages from one place to another, and we have artificial intelligence replacing doctors, winning in chess, doing crazy stuff. This is truly crazy. We are living in one of the most exciting times in human history. We are living in one of the most exciting times in human history. And 12 years ago, we still used paper maps to navigate. The world has changed so much in the last 12 years. Think about the next 12 years, where we will be in the next 12 years.
Very exciting time.
The sound is on. The video sound is on. Let's hear it again.
Very exciting time. We got a lot to do. We got to get to it.
Exciting times ahead. And one of the most interesting things that happen right now is the Internet of Things, right? The Internet of Things, where we make things smart. We take shoes and we make them smart shoes. We take tables and we make them smart tables. We take chairs and we make them smart chairs. We make everything smart. And this is amazing. It allows us to think big. It allows us to do amazing things. And after so many years of innovation and investing in technology, we eventually reach the phase where we can create smart eggs tray that will send us an SMS saying that we need to buy more eggs. Or a very interesting device, a smart hairbrush that will tell us if we brush our hair in a very good way. Now, I know this is a challenging act to brush your hair, so it's very good that we have this device now. Or a smart condom that will tell you if you're not good or if you are good and what you should improve. I'm actually waiting for this device to come out. We're going to have smart shoes. The shoes are going to say to the door that we are here. The door is going to open. The door will say to the coffee machine that we want coffee. The coffee machine will make us coffee. Things will talk to things in order to make our lives better. But how is the Internet of Things going to affect humanity? That's a big question, because the Internet of Things is not just bringing a good side to technology, it's also bringing a bad side. And there is a basic rule to technology. Everybody here knows this rule. Nevertheless, this rule is the engine of the cybersecurity industry. This rule is the reason that in the years to come, cybersecurity will become a more important issue. And this basic rule says The change always equals new opportunities plus new threats. Change always brings new problems. So we're going to take billions of new devices and we're going to connect them to the internet. That means three things. Number one, many new things to attack. Number two, many new ways to attack them. And number three, many new reasons to attack. The Internet of Things is going to be a hacking party. So many things are going to happen in the next few years. By 2025, we expect to have over 80 billion devices connected to the internet. And those devices are not going to be secure. We already see that. Because the companies that create those devices are usually very lazy with regards to security. They don't care about security. So we have those kind of things, smart dolls that can be hacked. And this is a video.
I'm in charge now. You might think I am just a sweet toy, but now I have been hacked, I can say all sorts of scary things.
The doll says, I'm in charge now. You might think I'm just a doll, but now I'm going to hack your house. So those smart devices are going to be hacked. And we already saw some major attacks around the world where hackers succeeded in attacking millions of IP devices, IP cameras. And by hacking those devices, they succeeded in taking down websites like Twitter, Netflix, and others. Those smart devices are not going to be that smart. They are not going to be secure. And this is a big problem for humanity. And I want to talk about three issues that the Internet of Things is going to show us in the years to come. Issue number one, we're going to talk about privacy. We already feel that our privacy is being compromised. Some people think that the internet is free, right? You're using Facebook for free, you're using Google for free. We feel this is free, but the fact that we're not paying money for it doesn't mean that it's free. We pay to Facebook, we pay to Google with our privacy. And we spend a lot of privacy in order to get those free services. And companies like Facebook, and I'm not saying it in a negative way, this is just the way the internet works. Companies like Facebook are big machines that knows how to transform privacy into profit. This is what they do. Google, Apple, and others as well. And the Internet of Things is going to allow those companies to be very, very good with privacy mining. More of our privacy is going to be taken and transformed into profit. Why? Because we are moving from a world where everything is off by default to everything is on by default. Right now, if I want to take a picture, I have to take out my phone, turn the camera on, and press a button. Tomorrow, if I want to stop taking a picture, I have to do something. Otherwise, this device will always take pictures all the time. And the small change in the way devices work will have dramatic effect on our privacy. A lot of information about us is going to be collected, and we don't even know how much. And I'm going to say something that might sound crazy to some of you. But soon, we might see people wearing masks before they leave the house. There are so many researches today that shows that if you take a camera and put it to a person's face, you can read a lot about the things that he thinks and the things that he wants to do. And what will happen is that you will walk down the street and you will have hundreds and thousands of cameras taking pictures of you, trying to find out what is the best way to sell you something. And then after walking for 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, 3 miles, whatever it is here, right? You go to a place and then you see ads that was designed specifically for you. We already saw something like that in this movie, right? Do you know this movie? If you do, raise your hand. Minority Report, right? Let me show you a video clip.
The road you're on, John Anderton, is the one less traveled. A nightfall of diamonds.
With sparkle.
Ciao, Johnny. Hello.
You can move the old-fashioned way. Century 21 stands provides gourmet cuisine. John Anderton! You could use a Guinness right about now.
Escape from it all. Stressed out, John Anderton.
So wherever he walks, cameras take pictures of him, take all the information from Facebook, Twitter, everything that he has, and they try to sell him something based on his current situation. And we cannot control this because those devices are on by default. And we will have those cameras everywhere. And the thing is that people will be scared and people might wear masks when they leave the house. And this is not a faraway future. This might happen in the next 5 to 10 years. And the thing that we want to remember is sensors. Sensors. Those are the things that makes the Internet of Things so exciting. Things that collect information, right? By collecting your heartbeats, collecting your steps, collecting what you eat, collecting what you drink, and obviously recording you and taking videos. If you have a Fitbit, this is an on by the default device. It takes information, it collects information about you all the time, and you cannot stop it, because that's the way it works, right? And we're reaching a point where a lot of people are feeling that they don't have, that it's very hard to keep secrets anymore. So gay people, it's very hard to keep it secret that you're gay today. It's very hard to keep it secret that you cheat on your wife. Trust me, I know. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not married. I'm just kidding. It's very hard to keep a secret that you undergo any kind of medical operation. Those things that we used to keep to ourselves many times, not always, many times we used to keep to ourselves. Right now, it's very, very hard to keep them a secret anymore. We are entering the world of open windows. Everything is going to be open all the time. So privacy, this is problem number 1 that we're going to see with the Internet of Things. We're going to go into problem number 2. And problem number 2 starts with Amazon Echo. Are you familiar with this device, the Amazon Echo? Right, some of you. If you have this device, please raise your hand. Okay, some people have it. Amazon Echo is a device running Alexa. Alexa is Amazon's self-helper. It's like digital helper, sorry. It's like Siri for Apple. You can talk to this device and ask it to do whatever you want.
Echo is a device designed around your voice. Simply say Alexa and ask a question or give a command.
Alexa, how many tablespoons are in 3/4 cup?
3/4 cups is 12 tablespoons.
So you can just ask whatever you want. You can ask this device to order whatever you want from Amazon. You can ask it to turn on the light, to turn off the light, to open the doors, to close the doors, to do whatever you want. This is an amazing device that can be connected to everything. Super, super cool. There was a point in time where the police wanted to take the recording out of Amazon Alexa to solve a murder crime. This lady was murdered by her husband, and the police thought that by using those recordings, they can discover, they can prove that he was the husband. And because of this incident, I was called to talk on the Israeli TV. I get to talk a lot on the Israeli TV. That just proved that the Israeli TV is not very high with quality. And they asked me about this incident. So here I'm trying to sound smart. I'm saying blah, 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 blah. And from time to time, I'm saying Alexa. Obviously, this is what we're talking about. After this interview, people called me and they told me that whenever I said Alexa on TV, the device in their houses turned on. Wow, this is super cool. I can sit on TV and control devices in people's houses? Immediately, I started thinking, what is the worst thing I can do to actually abuse those Alexa owners next time they see me on TV? So my first idea was to find a very, very loud song and on TV say, Alexa, please play Behemoth. But I was really afraid that I will cause a heart attack for an old lady that just received this Amazon Alexa from her grandchild and she didn't even understand what it's doing. So my second idea was to tell Alexa, please order a wedding dress from Amazon. I thought it's going to be very, very funny for this guy who dated this lady for 2 weeks and suddenly he got a wedding dress to his house. But I was afraid to cause a heart attack for this guy who suddenly received a wedding dress at his house. But as I was thinking about that and as I was researching this issue, I discovered something very interesting. This represents a real problem to security. So in the real world, up until now, we had a very clear division. We could declare on secure zones and unsecure zones. It was very easy to differentiate between those two. If I had an office here, this office was locked during the evening. And if someone wanted to access the devices I have in this office, he couldn't do that because everything was locked. But what happened if I take this office and put Amazon Echo inside? Suddenly, people from outside the office could stand near the window and yell, and this device will do whatever they tell them. Because the perimeter of this device is not defined by the walls. I can access it from everywhere. And this device don't understand if this is me who talks or someone else. Amazon Echo don't care if the owner, if the person who bought this device, he's the person who speaks or a total stranger. So if Amazon Echo can open your door today, I can stand outside your window and ask, Alexa, please open the door, and the door will be open because Alexa doesn't know that I'm not allowed to go inside the house. You would think that voice identification might be a solution for that, but you're wrong, because voice identification is a very hard thing to implement. And we already have devices that knows how to mimic living people. So I can even take your voice. I can even do something like that. I know it's a little weird and crazy, but I can take a truck, put huge speakers on it, drive in Manhattan or here in Riga or something like that, and play something like, Alexa, please buy my book from Amazon, something like that, and drive around the city, and every device that will hear me will do what I tell it to do. And this is amazing that we cannot stop people from accessing those devices. It's like having a computer inside your house, but leaving the wireless keyboard outside. So this is one of the things that we will see with the Internet of Things. Sensors are hard to control, and they are not defined by the walls of the house. You can approach them from different places. And I'm going to touch the last problem of today before I will say that you're amazing for sitting here during this winter. Oh my God, this is the first time ever. I feel like a rock star. Okay, the Internet of Things. The Internet of Things is not just one thing. It's actually a family of things. And inside we have things like smart houses, smart cities, driverless cars, wearables, biotech, heavy smart machinery, robots, and other things. Together, they create the Internet of Things. Now, if you remember, change always equals new opportunities plus new threats. That means that each and every one of those families are going to create amazing new problems to humanity. We're going to talk just about driverless cars for a second, because we don't have a lot of time, and driverless cars are amazing. You know who loves driverless cars? Parents to young kids. Because they think that if the kids make too much noise, they can just put them in the car, close the door, and send them to the grandparents. That's that. What those parents don't keep in mind is that when the grandparents want to set the kids back, it's just the same process. So you cannot solve this problem. So you're sitting in a car and you're on your way to the office. The car suddenly identifies that there is a traffic jam ahead and you're not going to be there for the first meeting. So the car, without asking you, tells the schedule, we're not going to be there for the first meeting. The schedule decides to postpone the first meeting and notifies the other participants. Now this guy has a smart alarm clock. And the alarm clock knows that if the first meeting got postponed, it's better to wake you up 1 hour later because you like to sleep. Things talk to things in order to make our lives better. And obviously we expect the world to be safer with driverless cars. But how do driverless cars look like from the eyes of the hackers? Two scenarios. Scenario number one, you're sleeping in the car. Everything is automatic. You don't have a lot of things to do. The GPS is set to take you home. And the hacker hacks into your car and changes just one small thing, which is the destination setting. You wake up inside your car, you feel that you overslept, you're used to sleep less and you slept more. You look out the window and you see that you're in a dark place. You have no clue where you are at. And from the other side, you see that two people actually kidnapped you. The same way that they order pizza. They just ordered you to be kidnapped. Now, for the sake of drama, I added this slide. Look carefully. Did it create the dramatic effect? It was stupid? Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, scenario number two. You're sitting in a car, you're watching TV. There aren't a lot of things to do besides watching TV. Suddenly, and though you didn't touch it, the radio turns on. And then you hear from the radio this computer-like voice, this mechanical voice, saying something very weird like,
"Hello, dear sir. It is a nice day today and we hope you are enjoying your ride. Please notice that we have taken full control over your car. Don't worry. We mean you no harm. You are kindly requested to wire transfer 12 Bitcoins to our account in the next 10 minutes. Otherwise, we will sadly have to kill you. Have a nice day. And thank you for your cooperation."
You're sitting in the car moves very fast. You know that in 2 minutes you're about to reach a bridge. What do? Dramatic effect again if you didn't. Okay. So this is a new type of ransomware, right? This is a computer virus that take control over your computer, but now it will hijack assets. If it is smart, if it's connected to the internet, you can hijack it. And people will hijack smart doors, smart cars, smart shoes, smart ovens, smart refrigerators. Those things will be hacked, and people will ask for money to give you the control back over them. And if you think that this is like science fiction and could never happen, I encourage you to read about this Jeep by Chrysler. Hackers already proved that they can take full control over this Jeep, including the steering wheel, the gas pedal, and the brakes. So this can actually happen today. So where do we go from here? This is very important to remember that this is not a competition, this is a boat. We are all in it together. We have to work together to make sure that the future is safer. Trust is something that you can only create together. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy that Israel and Latvia are friends. And I think that if there is something that we can do in order to further promote this relationship, we are owe it to ourselves to do that, because the future is in working together. And we have to remember that the future is very, very dangerous. Things are getting worse. It's becoming harder and harder to do security and easier to do hacking. But we will not let fear stop us from progress. This is one of the most exciting times in humanity. And we have to remember that technology is here to change the world for the better. We have to work together in order to make sure that the future is safer and brighter. Thank you so much.